Hello everyone, welcome to Senior College Mathematics. Topic of discussion is indices. If you are in senior college, you are preparing for WAEC, for NECO, for GC, for NAPTEP, for JAMB, or any other external or entrance examinations into high school, this lesson is for you. Lesson 4, application of the laws of indices. In this lesson, we want to apply the laws taught in lesson 3 to solve some problems in index form, problems involving bases and powers. Examples: simplify the following. For updates, follow Voice of Pittacus via YouTube at Pittacus Simplified Maths. To do that, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video to your friends, your colleagues, your classmates. You can also follow Voice of Pittacus via Facebook, Instagram at Pittacus Simplified Maths. If you have any questions, there's any inquiry, use the comment section. Example 23. Simplify this problem. 3a cubed times 2a to the power of 4. So let's write the problem again, then we try to expand it by multiplying in this form. 3 times a cubed times 2 times a power 4. The numbers or constants, let's breed them together. Then the letter in this form. 3 times 2 is 6. By the law of indices, the same base and multiply, the powers are added. So you have a power 3 plus 4. So you have 6a to the power of 7. The power of 7. Example 24, you have 12s power 4 y cubed divided by 3s power 4 y squared. Most time I prefer using division line in this form because I think it's easier and less confusing. So we change the division sign to division line, so that if 12 divided by 3, you have 4. S power 4, remove s power 4. You apply the law of division on y cubed and y squared. That means you subtract the powers. 3 minus 2. So you have 4 power 1. 4y power 1. 4y power 1. And any base number power 1 is the same. So you have 4y as the result. Okay? 25 sy power of minus 3. I think in this problem, what we have to do here is to remove negative power attached to y. We use the first version of the negative index. Once you write the inverse of y power of minus 3, it becomes y cubed. The inverse means 1 over y cubed. You multiply s times y. S times 1 is s over y cubed. Over y cubed. S times 1, that is s over y cubed. Okay? 26. Simplify this problem. All right, so let's expand it out. You have 6 times s squared, 3 times s power 0, 2 times s power of minus 6. Let's write out the constants together. That is 6 times 3 times 2 and the letter s. S squared times s power 0 times s power of minus 6. If you multiply the constants, you have 36. For s, the same base, you add the powers, that is 2 plus 0 plus bracket minus 6 bracket close. That simply means 2 minus 6. So you have 36 times 2 power of minus 6. That is 36 times s power of minus 4. Negative sign needs to go, so we write the inverse of it. That is 36 times 1 over s power of 4. 36 times 1 is 36 over s power of 4. Number 27, you have bracket open 3m power 4 bracket close power of 2. The way this problem is, the power 2 affects 3 and m power 4. We can do it in two ways. The first way is to write 3m power 4 twice because of 2. So you have 3m power 4 times 3m power 4. 3 times 3 is 9. M power 4 times m power 4 means m power 4 plus 4 from the law of indices, and you have 9m to the power of 8. Or you can use the power law. The power law, which allows us to multiply two powers together. So the way this 3 is now, it has power of 1. So power of 1 times 2, you have 3 square, then 4 power m times power 2 in this form. So 3 square is 9. Then you have m power 4 times 2, that is m power 8. Okay. Example 28, you are asked to simplify this problem. Minus 2 bracket open a square bracket close power of 3. The way this problem is, the power only affects a square, not minus 2. So we can simply apply the power law to a square. Okay, so you have minus 2 times a square power of 2 times 3. You have minus 2a power 6. Example 29, you have bracket open minus 4u square v bracket close to the power of 3. The difference between 28 and 29 is that in 28, the power is not affecting minus 2, but in 29, the power affects minus 2 because all the terms are inside the bracket. Because of 3 times, we can multiply minus 4u square v 3 times to reflect the power of 3. You have 1, and you have 2, and you have 3. You can bring like terms together, that is minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4. Then you have u square times u square times u square times v times v times v. Minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4, that is minus 64. If you apply the law of indices on u square times u square times u square, you add all the powers, you have u power of 6. V is high power of 1. So when you add the 3, you have v cube. Or alternatively, you can apply power law by multiplying each term by the power now. So you have minus 4 cube, then u square times 3, v have power of 1. So you have v power 1 times 3. Minus 4 cube is minus 64. Then you have u power 2 times 3 becomes u power 6. V power 1 times 3, you have v cube. So that is the alternative approach, and we have the same result. Example 30, bracket open, minus c, bracket close or square, times c power 4 all over bracket open minus c bracket close power of 5. We can also take this in two forms. The first approach is that we multiply minus c 2 times to reflect power 2. That is minus c times minus c, then times c power of 4. The denominator, you multiply it 5 times to reflect the power. That is what you have here. For numerator, minus c times minus c, that is plus c squared times c power 4. The denominator is minus c power of 5. For numerator, c squared times c power 4, that is c power 6 when you add the powers over the denominator. So when you apply the law of division on c, you are going to have minus c first, then 6 minus 5, division law of indices. Then you have minus c to the power of 1, and any base number power 1 is the same. So we have minus c. Are you following? All right. In the second approach, you can factor out minus 1 so that c becomes positive. So you have minus 1 times c all squared minus 1 times c power of 5, so that each term in the bracket carries the power. So you have minus 1 power 2, then c power 2 times c power 5. The same thing here, minus 1 power 5 c power 5. You should know that if a negative number is raised to the power of even number, it becomes positive. So minus 1 squared, the same thing as 1. Then simplify c squared and c power 4. You have 1 times c power 6. If a negative number is raised to a power of odd number, it remains negative. So minus 5 power 5 minus 1 power 5 is the same as minus 1 times c power of 5. If you divide 1 by minus 1, you have minus 1. Then simplify c power 6 and c power 5 by subtracting the powers, division law. You have minus c power of 1, and that is minus c. Okay, all right, so let's forge ahead. Example 31. Example 31. You have m to the power of 2 over 3 power 6. This we simply apply the power law, where the two powers 2 over 3 and 6 can be multiplied. 2 times 6 is 12 all over 3, divide, you have 4. So you have m to the power of 4. Example 32. You have bracket open, 5 to the power of minus 3 bracket close or square. This is also power law application, where the two powers minus 3 and 2 are multiplied. You have y power of minus 6. To do away with the minus sign, you write the inverse, that is 1 over 5 to the power of 6. Okay, or alternatively, we can start from the bracket first by taking the inverse for us to have positive power of 3. That is 1 over 5 cubed. Because of this square, you multiply 1 over 5 cubed by itself. That is in two form like this. The numerator multiply together denominator multiply together. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 cube times 5 cube means 5 power 3 plus 3 by the law of multiplication. At the end, you have 1 over 5 to the power of 6. So any approach you choose to take depends on how you view and understood the question before attempting it. You have the same result. Some are short and direct, others may take longer time to arrive at the answer. The thing is, as far you apply the right law or laws, you will arrive at the correct answer. Okay? Example 33. Example 33. We have this problem, bracket open, minus a cube divided by minus a squared, bracket close, power of 2. The first approach is that when you divide a negative number by a negative number, it becomes positive. That is why we have this step here. So if we resolve the inside the bracket by applying division law, you have a to the power of 3 minus 2 all square. That is a power 1 all square. And if you apply power law, you have 1 times 2 and you have a square. Or alternatively, because of the square, you can multiply the given problem by itself 2 times in this form. So after that, the numerator, you multiply them together. The denominator, you multiply them together. So minus times minus is plus. A cube times a cube, you have a power of 6. Then a square times a square, you have a power of 4. So by the law of division, the powers are subtracted and you have a square. As simple as that. 34, you have 1 over 8 bracket open minus 2s squared bracket close power 3. Power 3 only affects the terms in the bracket. So you have 1 over 8 times. Each term will take the power. So you have minus 3 cube, then s squared cube in this form. So minus 2 cube is minus 8. If you apply power law on s squared to the power of 3, you have s power 6. If you divide minus 8 by 8 times 1, you have minus 1 times s power 6, and that is minus s to the power of 6. Okay? Example 35. You have 4a cube b times bracket open 3ab bracket close power of minus 3. What we should do first is to remove the negative sign on the power of 3, and that means you write it in inverse form. 1 over bracket open 3ab bracket close. The power is now positive by the reason of the inverse. If we apply the power law on the denominator, so you have 3 cube a cube b cube. If you multiply 4a cube b by 1, you have 4a cube b over the denominator. So you have 4 over 3 cube is 21. From here, a cube divide a cube, you are left with b over b cube. If you apply division law, you have power of 1 minus 3. So you have 4 for 27, b power of minus 2. That is 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So 4 over 27. To take away negative sign, you write the inverse. That is 1 over b squared. And you multiply 4 times 1 is 4. 27 times b squared is 27b squared. Example 36, 0.04 to the power of half. First, let's convert this to a common fraction. That is 4 over 100 is equivalent to 0.04. Power of half simply means square root. So you take the square root of 4 over 100, and that is 2 over 10. If you divide, you have 0.2. 0.2. Or after conversion to common fraction, you don't want to take square roots. What you do is that you express 4 and 100 such that the power to them will be 2, because we are thinking of applying power law. So you must have 2 to take away 1 over 2. Okay? So you express 4 as 2 square because you are looking at 2 in the power. Then you express 100 as 10 square. So if you apply power law, the power will multiply the numerator and denominator in this form. That is 2 power 2 times 1 over 2 over 10 power 2 times 1 over 2. 2 times 1 over 2 is 1. So you are left with 2 over 10, and that is 0.2 as well. Okay? Example 37. You have 16 to the power of minus 3 over 2. The only way here is to take the inverse first so that the power becomes positive in this form. If you factor out 3 from where it is, you'll be seeing 1. So 1 over 2, that means square root of 16. That 3 you factor out becomes power to root 16. So root 16 is 4 to the power of 3. So you have 1 over 64. 1 over 64. Okay? Or if you take alternatively, after taking away the negative sign, so you have it 1 over 16 to the power of 3 over 2. You don't want to take square root sign, and 2 in the denominator of the power must disappear. For that, you express 16 as 4 square. So that if you apply power law, you have 4 square times 3 over 2 times 3 over 2. So it's either you cancel 2 by 2, or you multiply 2 by 3, that is 6, divide by 2, and you also have 3. That is 1 over 4 cube, and 4 cube is 64. So you have 1 over 64. 1 over 64. Okay? So this is how we apply the laws of indices to simplify problem. So you need to identify the laws you can use in order to simplify the problem. Now I've done that considering all these examples. So follow the footstep of the tutor. All right? End of lesson 4. Thanks for watching and learning with Petercos Education Community. Don't forget, watch out for more from the voice of Petercos. Lastly, if you are not safe, your life is in crisis. To avoid that, give your life to the one that can save you, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ. And you confess him as your Lord and personal Savior every day of your life. If you are saved already, tell you big congratulations. Live righteously and be prepared, because on the last day, some will be taken and some will be left. Take good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Study your books. Do the needful at all times. Flee every appearance of evil. Don't defraud others to make money. Use your hands and your brain to work genuinely, and the Lord will bless you. Goodbye.